And welcome back to the QB Huddle Podcast. I'm Tim Smith. I am joined by Brandon Noohi. As always, we're here to talk all things quarterbacks, and we are deep into the playoffs now, folks. It is Pro Bowl week. We've gotten through the conference championships. Tonight, we have a very special guest, a repeat guest host. We have Robert Kent, the man, the myth, the legend. We are so happy to have Robert back. Obviously, we wanted you back a second time. We also have Brandon Noohi's uncle, Miguel Tucker, on for the first time here tonight. And
What up,
that's going to
baby?
be exciting. Brandon tells me that you are quite the football fan and a huge Steelers fan, obviously. I like the Star Wars stuff that you got going on in the background. So I don't know about the Steelers gear, but other than that, you seem okay with me. First up, I want to talk to you, Robert, because you had a very special camp this weekend. Robert, as we all know, you played college football at the highest level with Jackson State. You were the passing leader there until Shador Sanders kind of took that over from you recently. But you are a legend. You're an arena football legend. You played in the NFL, and you got some of your coach friends together and player friends together, and you hosted a Legends of the Game combine this week for arena football players. And gosh, there was UFL coaches there, IFL, NAL. Talk about that atmosphere and how'd that camp go for you this weekend?
Uh, Man, it went wonderful. It was a blessing. For you guys to show up, which in itself was great for us. Just to have the opportunity to put on a showcase for guys to come out and show their talents and to get the opportunity to get in front of coaches, to be heard, to be seen, to interact with, firsthand instead of over the internet or, over a phone call. It was just a great experience.
Talk about some guys. There were some athletes out there, particularly there was a quarterback there that Brandon has worked with named Kahari, who was getting looks at both the UFL and the IFL team that was there, which was the DC Defenders. And then we had representation from the Frisco Fighters. I know, at least I think I know, he's been invited for sure to work out with the Fighters. There were some receivers there. James Harden was there putting out a little bit of the show. There were some big guys. Did you see anybody yourself that you thought really stood out at the camp this weekend?
Honestly, man, I hate to, well, I ain't gonna say I hate. I want to say the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks that showed up. Usually when you put on a camp, you get somebody who's my age, 43 or 44, and they come out there and they want to throw the ball around and they're throwing it into the ground, throwing it behind you. The receivers are upset. But honestly, we had some good quarterback play at the trial this weekend. Obviously we had great receivers out there, but
Yeah.
I really think that some talent who was probably hesitant about coming didn't think the coaches would show up. Sometimes people look and say, nobody's going to be there. It's just a money grab, or it's just he's just trying to, just put some money in his pocket. This whole opportunity was nothing about me. I'm giving money back to the school. I fed the coaches who came out. Made shirts for the coaches who came out. Still got to give them those.
I miss
But
those wings, man. I'm really so mad at D for tricking off on our tea time, man, because those look fabulous
Yeah, we didn't
in the
get to
coaching
eat because
office.
we were headed to a tea time
Oh my
that turned out
God.
to be non-existent.
I'm so mad
oh,
about that.
We
I
were
knew I
just
should have grabbed
extremely
two
late for it.
pieces.
Not fun. Robert, word on the street was that you had a impromptu special guest play caller show up and do some things for you guys, and the
This
offense really
guy.
started to click, is what I heard when this
This guy.
particular guy took over the play calling. I'm not sure. He didn't have a book. He didn't have a play chart.
This guy.
Kind of looked like a bum out there, and then all of a sudden the offense exploded.
and listen, man, there's this guy that came by named Tim Smith. You may have heard of him.
I
He,
may have
I, I had a playbook. No, I had two playbooks. I was
two.
giving plays. I like to be visual with the players, so I want them to know what they're doing. So when they go out there, it's hard for them to mess up. And if they
Right.
do, now you can't comprehend. But when I relinquished the title of offensive coordinator, the game changed, I must say.
Well, we appreciate that. I mean, at the end of the day, Robert, you could have gone in and took snaps and really made the defense look bad, but you chose to let the young kids get work, but you are still going to be the starting quarterback. At least that's the plan. QB1. for the North Texas Bulls in the NAL this year, and you're going out to win that thing. So you are no scrub yourself by any means, and you call your own plays majority of the game. Let's not make that mistake. You are the guy that sees the game in a different way when you're under center. So it's just a pleasure to work with you, man. I appreciate you letting me take the reins a little bit. I had a lot of fun for a little bit there. And gosh, we got a lot of video. We got some interviews of some coaches.
Tim, you got your flowers.
I did. I appreciate all that. Brandon, you were there with me, man. You were there watching your quarterback. We had Craig LeBlanc was in the building that you know pretty well. Talk about your experience at Robert's camp and who stood out to you outside of Kahari.
Yeah, man, I thought it was a fun experience, man, getting to meet, different coaches that you never see, but also getting to, see the teammates that you were around, for that small amount of time. But it seems like that circle is real tight, and, I'm just happy to be a part of it. Robert's been great to us. He put on a good camp. I wish we would have seen a little bit more talent out there, but there was some talent, right? We had a James Harden. If you guys haven't seen James Harden on Instagram, that guy's got over 1 million views racing TO and beating him, right? He's been in the FCF. He's been working, man. And it's like you hope for a guy. He's hold signs out at Jerry's World to get an opportunity. He's hungry, and I think he put on a great performance. I also think, Kahari did very well. Kahari's very polished. He's a polished player. He's a guy who can, take coaching, take criticism, understand what he's seeing, hard worker. There's another guy from Delta State as well, I thought, that did really well. It's unfortunate he got out a little bit during those 1-on-1s and 7-on-7. So I would have loved to see how, quick his clock was as far as how he processed information. But other than that, it was extremely competitive. Man, it had me wanting to warm up and get out there, but I know that's passed me by, but
no, come on, man, don't get that.
You're a golfer now.
I'm a golfer now. I'm a golfer now, Ken. You'll see once you get out there.
Man, we've got
all my focus is in golf.
We've got your uncle here on the show tonight, man. Tell us who Miguel Tucker is, man. Introduce your uncle to us.
All right, man. Since I was a little toddler, man, because we were both light skinned growing up, so we were the light skinned crew. They're like, you Uncle Miguel, you Uncle Miguel. We talk a lot. We like to banter. He's always been like a father figure, a big brother to me since I was a little guy. And so to have him on the show, he's always calling me. He's always locked into what we're talking about. He's one of the biggest fans, and I could truly appreciate that from, just not only family, but just like a big brother, a dad to me. And so without further ado, my Uncle Miguel, man. And
welcome, Uncle.
You ran track and you played tennis. He was a bad boy in tennis now. I can't play no damn tennis, but he's a bad boy.
I can't.
He's a bad boy. You get him talking on tennis, that's a whole nother ball game.
Yes.
Tennis.
He was cold, bro.
About tennis.
He was cold, bro.
John Marshall High School.
Yeah.
My senior in high school, I ran track with John Marshall High School. And it was a really good experience because when I first went to high school at John Marshall, I thought running was just running. I thought, when you go out there with the cleats and everything, running's running. Yeah, I found out real fast. Running is not running. You got to turn around and know how to breathe and everything and all that stuff. So my sophomore year when I got to John Marshall, my coach Ellis, he turned around and spotted me out. He said, man, you learned me touch this, brother? I said, yeah. He said, yeah, I know you can run then, so I want you on my track team. Man, I'm over here thinking that running is running and everything. Man, when against one of the seniors up there, thought I can outbeat him running. Shoot, yeah, right. Find out real fast that if you don't know how to control your breath, your breathing, you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
So he taught me how to control my breathing, how to tell me to get close to the line and know how to run on the lines and all that stuff. Now,
nice, man.
And now that's my experience in track. We won my last year in high school. We won the state championship, and the boys had won the state championship. And darn, since my brother was in high school, and that's back in the 70s. So we did our thing. But our girls
had the fours and all.
But our girls, they dominated, man. Our girls, Coach Ellis, he really mainly just was the track coach for the girls. Man, he won like 13 straight state championships.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City. So, and I mean, when they went on the road, they dominated on the road. When they went to Alabama, faced those girls up there, killed it up there and all this stuff up there in Kansas. But that's about here and there on that. But then when it comes down to tennis, now Robert, you know this.
Yes, sir.
Football is a hard sport, but tennis is a hard sport too.
Oh, yes, sir. I love it.
Man.
I've
Lost complete
been playing it
control.
since I was 12.
Yeah. Hey, we're talking about tennis now. Talk about it then.
No, let me tell you right now. The first time I went against a left-hander, dude, it blew my mind because I didn't know because I'm
Ball can spin the opposite way.
People. Oh yeah, it's the opposite way. Man,
Oh, you were a lefty
Tennis.
too?
You
Dude.
tennis players. No, he went against the lefty.
Oh, he went against the
He went
lefty.
against the
Okay.
lefty, and that lefty
I don't know shit
shut
about
my
tennis.
butt up. But the next time when I faced him, it was another dilemma then.
So you were a champ, Unc. So tell me about I love how you talk about this tennis because this is literally I don't know shit about tennis, but I do know about that team you got on your chest right now. The team who got the most wins right now, the most Super Bowls tied. Them Steelers, man. So you a
They ain't got a
Steelers fan.
quarterback right now.
They ain't got a quarterback right now.
They ain't got a quarterback.
Well, that's one thing I do like about Tomlin. Tomlin said, hey, the quarterback position is open. He said that in the press conference. He said it's open. It ain't going to be no discussion. He said now the way that what's the name the quarterback the OSU guy quarterback that played with OSU back in the day.
I don't know.
Who are you talking about?
What's his name?
Who's your favorite quarterback right now?
Who's your
Who's your
favorite?
favorite
There you go.
Who's your favorite quarterback right now?
Rudolph and
Oh,
he
Mason
said,
Rudolph.
He's talking about Mason.
Free agent this year, so he don't know if he's gonna come back or not. But if he does come back, the job will be open.
Well, who's your
Okay.
quarterback? Who you want to be your quarterback?
Russell Wilson.
I was
Tell
just
him.
going to say that.
Like he ain't gonna wear what his watch.
Would I like to be my running? Who
He
I
ain't
like?
gonna-
I wouldn't have a problem with Russell Wilson being the quarterback.
Go.
That'd be a good relationship with him.
I
and
would
Tomlin.
like that. So let's dive into these conference championship breakdowns, man.
Let's do it. Robert, we're going to come to you first because you know what? We're going to let Brandon sit there and stew because if we let Brandon start, this show will just be a 49er show. Right?
I'm gonna just let y'all see Brock Purdy. I'm gonna just let y'all just sit here and watch
Man.
Brock Purdy right above and just let y'all
Robert,
get
Right?
while I sip my yak.
you are a diehard Lions fan. I know you went through heartbreak, but break it down for us, man. What happened to the Lions blowing a 17-point lead in an NFC title game, by the way, that's never been done before?
It's
about
not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Okay.
I'm really, as a Lions fan, you know how hard it is to get to the Super Bowl. We've never been to the Super Bowl, but then as a team, as players, that's a huge feat. And we had it. It was in our hands. So let's talk about the breakdown of what happened.
Let's do that. love
Before halftime, we take 3 points going into the half instead of going for a touchdown. That was the time that I thought, you know what, if we're going to go for it, hey, we're up 14. We're going for halftime. Let's go out and let's see if we can get it. But he chose to kick 3. Was not upset. We up by 17. Good, going into the half. Come back after half. San Francisco go down and get 3. After they get 3, we get the ball. We drop back down. I was like, okay, you know what? We're going to match point for point. Makes no sense to go for it on 4th down when we can match point for point and be up 3 scores.
3 scores.
Hey, that changes the game. If it's 2 scores, you give life to a team. And that's what we did. We gave them life by going for it. First of all, dropping the ball. People can say what they want about the pass. When the ball hits you in the hands, your job is to catch it. You get paid to catch the ball. I know we all mess up, but big-time players make big-time plays in big-time situations.
Real talk.
There you go.
But big-time coaches' decisions are made also. And I honestly feel as a player of the game of football, coach went in with the emotions of, I've been doing this all year. We're going to get it instead of thinking, let's match point for point. They get 3, we get 3. they get 7, we can run the ball, which we stopped doing in the second half, was we had the most rushing yards against the Shanahan team in his era of being in the NFL as far as rushing yards in the first half. And the second half, we completely changed our concept of the game. Then not to go for it, and then to go for it again on 4th down when we were down 3.
Yeah.
These are just situations in football where, as a coach, I want to put my team in the best position to win the game.
Right.
And honestly, he did not put
I couldn't
us
believe it.
in the best positions to win the game.
I couldn't believe it.
I was kind of shocked, and you mentioned it, but at one point in that game, it was either right before or right after halftime, they had said 3 different running backs on the line, or 3 different players on the Lions had more rushing yards individually, each of them, than Christian McCaffrey at that time. And then all of a sudden, the Lions decided to stop running the ball. And even with a deficit, the 49ers continued to stay true to themselves and hand the ball off and get McCaffrey involved. And so you wonder why Dan Campbell kind of got away from what, were they celebrating a little bit at halftime? Did they think the game was done? I mean, and then did they panic when the 49ers started to make a comeback? Was that, now we've got to score when you didn't really have to? It was more about taking time off the clock and at least putting points up. I felt like they panicked a little bit after the fumble. Did you kind of feel that way?
And that's exactly what happened. First of all, the intercept. I mean, should have been an interception. Ball hits him completely off his helmet. You made a great play, knocked the ball down. Anything. Right. So it was too many things going against us for us to try to make the spectacular play, or to put us in a situation where we don't take points when we needed to take points. You take points, you tie the game. San Francisco has a different game plan as far as going down the field.
Right.
Because now we kick the ball off and we play defense. Now they're thinking, hey, we got to go score. Maybe we could have gotten them into a 3rd down.
Maybe they start pressing
timeouts and get the ball back.
Make them start pressing.
So it was confidence for the players to continue to get points, regardless of what they were doing. That would have given our players that confidence. You know what? We can finish this game out because we're going to make the best decision for us and put us in the best situation.
Well, I know as a fan, heartbroken, man. It was great to see the city of Detroit, though. 35,000 people there at the stadium in Detroit going crazy, pandemonium. But I can't imagine that heartbreak to just blow that sort of lead. And I know how happy Brandon was on the other side. I didn't even bother to text you after the game because I kind of knew what you had to be feeling. But that had to be awful. Miguel, I'm going to go to you. And you know what? Before we get too far, how do you want us to address you? Brandon never told us. What do you have a nickname? What do you want? How would you like us to address you tonight?
Just address me by my first name.
Okay.
Name.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
They just call him Tuck.
Just call him Tuck, Brandon said. Okay. Well, Tuck, I'm going to come to you. You have the Steelers stuff on, so this should be a really fun conversation for you. Talk to us about what went wrong for the Ravens on Sunday.
Woo.
Particularly Lamar Jackson, since this is the QB Huddle, and we like to talk about our quarterbacks.
Okay. Well, I tell you right now, I think he played scared.
Scared.
Come on in here.
I mean, the Ravens have not been doing this all year long. I mean, when the heck you ever seen Lamar not run the doggone ball? I mean, I'm just being honest. When the heck is last time you see him just be in a pocket and not even throw just not even run the ball? I'm like, he act like he was a pro quarterback back there just throwing the doggone ball. Didn't want to run and didn't want to use his legs. You got to use your legs. I'm like, oh my God. I was like,
Purdy did.
Purdy did.
Purdy did.
I mean, he just messed up, and then after that, then the offensive coordinator should have said no. Call timeout. No, you use your legs. No, you use your legs. You haven't been doing this mess all year long. And then do
you think part of it was game plan? Do you think any of it was game plan? Because, looking back at it, there was only 2 designed runs for Lamar called the entire day, and the running backs only had 6 carries between them.
Yeah, Tim. I mean, I'm like, when's the last time you seen a Raven team do that?
Never.
Never.
They've been running the ball
Well, maybe Joe Flacco.
You were
Maybe
telling me. Yeah, you were telling me over the call this week that I can't believe the Ravens only ran the ball 6 times.
6 times.
What?
I'm like, okay.
In the second half, what? And you're only down by 7.
Yeah. You hold the
Stay
Chiefs
true
to
to who
17,
you are.
you should be able to win the game. You have the MVP quarterback, and you're not using the MVP the way that he won the MVP this year at all. You're not utilizing his athleticism, and that was criminal to me as an offensive coordinator.
I'm going to ask you a question, Tim. Now, let me ask you this. Now, with that performance that he had, you think that it might affect him getting the MVP?
No.
Because
I feel like it should.
How it goes nowadays.
I feel like it should.
I mean,
As
it
a
could.
Brock
To
Purdy
me,
fan would.
Why not?
To me, I
feel
don't
like it should.
listen,
Give
I
it to
think the
McCaffrey.
MVP is and this is a fact. The MVP is a media award. It's voted on by sports writers. I don't like the MVP anymore in the NFL because it's been geared towards the quarterback, and oftentimes is the most popular quarterback on the best team that year. We seem to forget all year how good this Ravens defense was, right? And this Ravens defense was on a historic pace going into this Chiefs game. So to me, Lamar's going to get it because, he did come back off injury. He did play dynamic. He was amazing all year, but I thought Christian McCaffrey was an MVP to me, because without Christian McCaffrey, the 49ers aren't going to the Super Bowl.
Straight
up.
And that's
So to me, it should be Christian McCaffrey, not Lamar Jackson. And that's no knock on Lamar, but Christian's just that good this year.
Well, I agree because even Purdy, everybody want to turn and talk about Purdy so doggone bad, but Purdy even said that his running back should be the MVP.
Love that.
100%, bro. Baby Marshall Faulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Give him
to
that.
me, and his stats would. I mean, let's be truthful, y'all. His stats wasn't all that great. I mean, his stats wasn't like 3,000 yards, 28 touchdowns. What we see like a typical quarterback do.
Yeah.
So
it's different. It's a different game now.
I like that somebody else on this show has said that besides me. I've been the only one out here saying these things.
So
That's
right now,
he's an old school Steelers fan.
But right now, I'm kind of mixed up on it because I'm telling you,
he misses Ben.
hey, Brandon.
I don't blame him.
Brandon, let me tell you that you leave Big Ben alone, okay?
Yeah, hey, I love Ben. He's a Hall of Famer. Like, nothing.
But you know what? Fellas? I think they might have to split it up. They might just do that. I mean, you see the things being real real crazy. So, everybody would talk about Lamar winning the MVP, but does he really deserve it? I'm just being truthful. Not with the yards that he didn't have. He didn't throw that many yards. Not the MVP that he did when he won the MVP.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, and he had 28 touchdowns, had 3,000 yards.
He had 30+ touchdowns. Yeah, 3,000 yards, led the league.
Maybe like 1,000 yards rushing that year.
And lost in the first playoff game.
Right, that's unheard of.
Again.
Second.
Damn.
He could beat the Texans.
Damn it, Lamar.
He's only beaten C.J. Stroud, the rookie,
and Ryan Tannehill.
So his 2 playoff wins aren't very impressive. I felt like he was trying to prove something at some point in that game, sitting in the pocket. There were lanes, it seemed to me, where he could have taken off and using that speed a little bit, and he didn't.
Right.
And there's no reason for you to prove to us that you're a pocket passer because that's not who you are.
Or just work your short game and go underneath and allow your guys to get 6-7 yards a pop. And he failed to do that. It's what my grandpa used to say, staring down a gun barrel.
Or run the ball.
Run the ball. And I put a lot of that on the coaches.
See anything else around him. Like, that is the ball I'm throwing. That's it. It's dude, work your checkdowns. He's got to take that. He's got to take that next step. And I feel like he has effectively this year. He has. But in those crucial moments, you've got to bore me with completions, man. If you're throwing the ball 39 times, you have to bore these guys with completions.
So
you have to. You've got to sustain
NFL read.
The team only scored 3 points in the second half. The Chiefs.
I'm just going to point out.
Take advantage of that.
Before I get into what went right for the Chiefs, I'm going to point out, Brandon, that I said on this show and on the Couch Coach, if Lamar Jackson has to throw the ball between 35 and 40 times, they're going to lose. And he dropped back 37 times. And that's not the recipe
You're right.
for success.
You're right.
So Dak Prescott's in the same boat. When he throws the ball 35, 40 times, the Cowboys typically don't win the game. Most quarterbacks are like that. There's only 3 or 4 quarterbacks that you do trust to throw the ball 40 times a game, right? And you don't.
Purdy did it.
You don't necessarily want to do that. I love Brock Purdy, so I'm not going to argue with you. But I'm going to talk about the Chiefs and the best quarterback in the game, and that's Patrick Mahomes to me. There's been a lot of talk this week about
Darth
if he's
Vader.
the GOAT. I don't think he's the GOAT yet. I think there's some work to do. But
not yet.
Is he the most talented quarterback I've ever seen, man? Yes. He's a mixture of he's kind of a mixture of John Elway and Fran Tarkenton with his scramble ability. He's he's not super fast. He's not going to get you that straight line speed, but he runs when he needs to. He gets the yards needed when they're needed, and somehow, some way, he finds Travis Kelce. Him and Travis Kelce now have the record for most completions and most touchdowns for a duo in the playoffs. That's pretty amazing when you think of the duos that we've seen over the years, including Montana Rice and all the damage that they used to do. So, man, the Chiefs went in with a great game plan. I felt that they got up quick, which put pressure on that Ravens offense, which might have put them out of character a little bit, which I thought was the only way that the Chiefs could win the game, was really get up quick. What surprised me was they couldn't move the ball. I'm trying to think of how to say this funny, but say it PG. So I'll just say it. They couldn't move the ball in the second half until that fourth quarter when they absolutely needed to drive. They finally got a couple of first downs, but it was ugly for them in that second half. The Ravens, to me, were the best team all year coming out second half adjustments and shutting teams down. They did that to the Texans. They've done that to several teams throughout this year, but the Chiefs just had the better plan. I thought they had the better coach in Andy Reid on the sideline and that defensive coordinator. I felt like they had the best player on the planet playing for them, and maybe the second best player on the planet. All of a sudden, Travis Kelce's back out of nowhere. 11 targets, 11 catches. So Taylor Swift's putting that magic on him, and he's doing his thing out there.
On his ass. Put a little dusty on his ass. Gave him a
Taylor
little
Swift
lovey top.
Boy, he's been amazing.
They had to get now. You went out there and beat the heck out of that doggone team.
They pressed so hard. They pressed so hard.
But why didn't you do that against Kansas?
Hey, Zay doesn't fumble that ball in the end zone. It's a different ball game. It's not a maybe. It's 2 to 3 plays that lost that game. Tim, we're acting like this is a blowout.
But hold on a second, because let's say he does not fumble, he does score a touchdown. Haven't you seen enough from Patrick Mahomes to think that he's probably going to get the ball back and go down the field and score? He's so Tom Brady-ish with that. It's that effect. Not that he plays the game like Tom, but when the money's on the line, I mean, he beat Josh Allen with 13 seconds left. That doesn't make sense. You don't get the ball with 13 seconds left and go put the game into overtime. That doesn't happen.
That's some agreement. 13 seconds is enough time, ain't it?
Apparently, like, you can't give this dude 13 seconds.
But Tim, that Ravens defense, I just think with that score, that score ignites the defense to go out there and make a play.
That's definitely acceptable.
Right.
That's acceptable.
And it happens.
Mahomes, that's acceptable.
Yeah.
We can win that.
How about Terrell
Our
Suggs
team's going to get
coming
24-28. That's what we expect as a defense.
Did you see Terrell Suggs come out fourth quarter, got the crowd pumped up, and they fed on that emotion for a little bit?
They score, the crowd's in the game again.
Yeah.
The defense is turned up. The offensive feeling. All right, guys, we've been tricking off the game all day. Let's go.
Right.
Let's go make some plays.
Right, yeah.
It's a whole different ball game if he scores that. And how many times have we watched guys try to push the ball over the goal line around a crowd of people and don't think and the ball gets knocked out? It's happened too many times.
Too many times. You're right. I agree with you now.
He go punch the bench or whatever he punches and blazes his hand.
And he messed up his hand and everything else. Well, he's a rookie. He'll learn.
He'll learn.
I just think, I said this a couple weeks ago. It just seems like, especially in the playoffs, when you play the Chiefs, weird things happen all of a sudden, because it's just same thing that we used to watch with the Patriots. Weird things would happen. And all of a sudden, I mean, we look at the Super Bowl against Atlanta. They're getting blown out. People are changing the channel. People are watching, TBS movies. And all of a sudden you look up and the Patriots are winning the game. Like, how did that happen? It's just weird things happen when you play the Chiefs. I think that comes from preparation and luck meet opportunity. You never know what could happen. The Chiefs are the best at it. Now let's let Noohi have some fun. Noohi, you're 49ers. Brock Purdy had an elite fourth quarter. And who'd have thought that on Monday morning we'd have been talking about the runs that Brock Purdy made and not the runs that Lamar Jackson made? Go ahead and have fun, man. Talk your shit. Your 49ers are going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow. Well, respect to the Detroit Lions. I didn't have one Detroit Lion say one bad thing. And when you do that, I don't do it either. When you talk that shit, I'll talk. But the fact is respect. They got here. They came to play, man. 4 plays in, touchdown. I said, oh, shit. All right, what's going on? Okay, we're throwing out quick. All right, they get the ball back, 14-0. Oh, no. Here we go. They kick another field goal. Then they go back down. We look up. It's 24-7. Brock throws a pick, right? Adversity just doesn't build character. It reveals it. And if we wanted to be champions, and I said this in the text thread because it was very active. It's always active during Niner games, right?
It was active all day, to be fair.
It was real active. It was real active. I was like, we're playing like some you-know-whats. And if we want to be champions, we've got to do champion stuff. And damn it, when
Robert,
we came
he was
out,
cussing out his team for
mad,
the first
bro.
30 minutes.
I was mad. I was mad because it's like we've come this far. We have a good team. We got good team camaraderie. We got great leaders. This is when your leaders step up. And you got the young 24-year-old kid who's just a year removed from a UCL injury and in this game and comes back and delivers a comeback like we've never seen in an NFC championship game. That's the greatest comeback in NFC championship history.
Yes, it is.
The kid's a stud, right? Is he elite? I'm not saying that. We're not going to put, like Bill Parcells used to say, we're not going to put the anointing oil on him yet. Right? We got to see a little bit of grind, right? And for him to be Mr. Irrelevant, hell, he didn't even know if he was going to make the team after 2 days, right? You know how that works.
Yes,
and
right.
So for him to come in, manage, and take an opportunity and run with it, and who knew he had that kind of speed?
Yeah,
He's got football speed. He's got football speed.
Yes,
he got up and out of there a couple times.
He almost ran over Debo trying to block. Like, you can tell this guy really cares, and he's so humble. He's so put together, man. He's very faith-oriented. Nothing rattles him. Nothing. And it's like, those are the intangibles that I was comparing in a group text about Tom Brady. They're like, oh, but you're comparing him to Tom Brady. I'm like, no. The intangibles.
Yeah. He plays like Tom.
And here's the thing. And I asked the group chat, I was like, can you name me Tom Brady's intangibles? And they couldn't. And so I know, okay, you're sitting here watching YouTube highlights. You don't understand the psyche that it takes.
His poise.
It's insane. His poise, his leadership, him being calm. He has everything that you want.
His accuracy, his IQ was off the charts.
I'm just happy that he's my quarterback. It's a cool story. It's a Disney story. I'm all here for it. But kudos to the Lions, man. I really feel like, yes, we won it. We took advantage of the opportunities. But Dan Campbell should have been looking out for his players, and leaders should have stepped up like, yo, this is a tight game. We can win this in OT.
Yeah.
Look how we're running the ball.
Right.
Y'all, literally, man, y'all could run the ball all day on us. And that's I'm really nervous going into this game, but I love our chances because I'd rather play Mahomes than Lamar. I'd rather play him. It's just because of the containment factor. We've seen him a dozen times.
I don't know how you can say that when
we understand, but
he wins
when
the
you
big games and Lamar doesn't.
I understand that, but when you don't see Lamar very often, he kills you.
Okay, that's fair. And you did you did take a whooping to the Baltimore Ravens already.
Now the thing about it is they outgained us in total yards, first downs. The only thing we controlled was time of possession. We never got out of our identity, which I really appreciated from Kyle because this was the biggest game of Kyle's life. If he'd have lost this, I'm telling you, Niner fans are weird, man. We will call for his job. We'll get Brock Purdy out of there. Like, that's how we operate. It's just how we are. We're very blunt, right? It's like we're pessimistic to a degree, right? But it's just like, dude, come on. We need some optimism here. And I feel like what Brock Purdy did just showed the world that I'm here, man. I'm here. And if you think for 1 second that dude's going to blink in the Super Bowl with Pat Mahomes sitting across from him, that's the next step. This shit is like Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader. This is exactly like Steve Young said, quote from my boy Steve Young, he's got the force. He sees things that other quarterbacks that are getting paid hundreds and millions of dollars don't see and don't execute in those moments.
Yep.
I can go down the list, right? Are we judging people off their talent or their intangibles to lead a team and play under crucial situations when it really matters?
That's fair.
That's how you're judged. And I feel like this kid is really running with it. Respect to the Detroit Lions. Ben Johnson just came back as your OC. I guarantee you guys will be right back here. You'll be right back here. You'll be right back.
I appreciate that.
You'll be right back here.
We're going to get to that here in a second. Robert, I'm going to let you lay out the plan on how you get back. Just
I think
give me
you
one
will,
second
man.
to transition to that, because I'm with Brandon. I'm also going to say on what you said, man. There's two quarterbacks in the NFL right now that, to me, play the game at the quarterback position similarly to Tom Brady, and that's Joe Burrow and that's Brock Purdy. And that's from a competitiveness standpoint. That's from an IQ standpoint, getting the ball out of their hand, willing their team to win games.
Intangibles.
Because we've seen Joe Burrow go to the Super Bowl with a team that had no business going to the Super Bowl. Right?
That's a bad dude when he's healthy.
It really, his only season fully healthy, or his first season fully healthy, took that Bengal team to the Super Bowl. I'm excited for Joe Burrow to get back. I'm excited that Brock Purdy is who he is, because I love having good quarterbacks throughout the league. So now we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about the losers of these championship games and what they need to do. Robert, we're going to start with the Lions.
Hey, Tim, I want to say one more. I want to say one thing.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Now, when you said about about Tom Brady's intangibles, you know what? People are so blind about Brady. People gonna say, "Well, he's lucky." I said, "Listen here. That time when he went against Kansas City and had 3 third down and 10s, and he threw it
in Arrowhead.
Down.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember that game. That dude's got ice in his veins, bro. He's got ice in his veins.
He's the GOAT.
Yes,
nobody's gonna be able to touch him. I don't give a care if Mahomes do catch up with him. He's still the GOAT.
Okay. Well, he's the only one that beat Mahomes twice in the playoffs. Let's just remember that.
He's 2-0. And Tom, when he was on the Colin Cowherd show, he respectfully said, "You ain't me." He respectfully said, "You ain't me."
we love Tom Brady on the QB Huddle podcast. We even have a Brady moment during the season. So yeah, we're with you on that.
So much of a cool cat. He's
cool, bro. He's cool. I like Tampa Tom more than New England Tom.
What stood out to me?
Beat up in that Rams game. Oh man, I'm like, man. The Rams was beating his behind. But he just stuck in the pocket.
That was a tough Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
That was low scoring.
Man, you gotta love Tom, man. I remember going to a Bears game the week after Brady was there, and they were talking. I think he was with the Buccaneers at this point, and they're talking. These people behind or below me, they had season tickets, and they're like, "Yeah, last week we saw Tom Brady." And I was like, "Oh, you guys got to see Tom Brady live?" I hadn't seen him live at this point. And they said to me, it was so boring to watch him play. And I'm like, you just don't understand. It's like, it'd be like me going to an art museum. And I'm like, what is this mess? I don't understand it. That's what it is when people watch Tom Brady. If they don't understand, they simply don't understand. But let's move on to the Lions. Robert, you got Jared Goff. You've got Coach there. He's a little bit of a riverboat gambler. Are you going to make big changes? You got your offensive coordinator back. What do the Lions need to do? What's the roadmap to get back to another title game?
I think we add a couple more receivers, consistent guys at the receiver position. We're solid at the running back. I think we're solid up front. Defensively, we got some young guys that made spectacular plays for us, so it's hard to deny defensively. Honestly, I think it's going to boil down to the coaching. can we believe that Dan is going to make the right decision in the right situations? Because he has the players, he has the team around him, the team of coaches around him. Will he pull the trigger on fourth down when the trigger doesn't need to be pulled, or will he make that fourth down adjustment and take the 3 points? I don't want him to change who he is as a coach, the motivation. I mean, everything about him, I truly stand for. But when it comes to the analytics of the game of football, you can't cross analytics and passion when it comes to winning games. You got to do what you need to do to win games. And this year showed me he could win some games, regular season, playoffs. But when it's time to get to the Super Bowl, are you going to make that same decision and say, I'm going to stand by my fourth down and go for it again? Or are you going to kick the field goal and take the points and believe in your defense that's going to go out there and keep the game at a 17-point lead or tie the game up, and now the game could possibly go into overtime? It's just so many other factors that could have happened if you make the right decision. Honestly, not the ego decision, but the right decision.
So did he learn his lesson? That's what we're looking for. Did he learn anything from the Cowboys game and this 49ers game? We're going to find out.
Yeah, I need to.
We're going to find out because I love Dan Campbell. I don't think he needs to go anywhere. He's perfect for that city. He's perfect for that team. Jared Goff doesn't need to go anywhere. If anything, they probably need to extend him so he stays in Detroit for a long time. I think, he's found a home. They're chanting his name. Not necessarily his fault they lost this weekend. I think it takes all 53 to blow a 17-point lead. So you can blame the water boy. You can blame the trainers on that. Everybody gets some. So when you do something like that.
Coaches to everybody.
Everybody.
Somebody should have been in his ear saying, Coach,
hey, slow down.
Yeah, somebody should have said something, man. He's aggressive. We appreciate it and respect it, but damn, it's too close.
That's what I think.
Hey, brother, you may want to take this field goal right now.
I think we're missing that one hungry dog that can go up to coach and say, hey, coach, yeah, we this is what we should do, or this is what I think, because the defense is going to do this.
You had him. You had him, Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
You had him. I don't understand why you got rid of him. I understand Montgomery was huge for you. But the guy had 20-plus touchdowns. He had 20-plus touchdowns in last year.
Yes, he did.
That's the guy. That was the guy. That's the guy that's going to tell Coach, hey, you better kick this thing.
Right. Because we got you.
I just felt like he was the leader on that team last year. Like, I was shocked he was left. I was like, what?
So who is that leader now? That's what I don't.
It's got to be Hutch.
Yeah, but that's the young buck. They still, trying to.
But he got a Pro Bowl. He got he got some skins in the game now. Yeah, he knows that's his city.
So that person, that's the person that coach. No, we got this.
Yeah, like hell no. Let's play for OT. We running this thing.
Offense win games, but people always gonna say defense win championships. So the defense has been playing well.
That I believe that's very true as an offensive guy. Yes, you got to score points. Yeah. But damn it, those defensive stops are huge.
The Chiefs huge.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So let's open this up to the group. And I don't know who wants to take this first, but Baltimore, man, did they ruin? First of all, did they blow the best chance for Lamar Jackson to get to a Super Bowl? Is this the best team he's going to have? And what changes do they need to make moving forward to get over the hump next year? Brandon, let's start with you.
All right. For me, I feel like they have a good nucleus. I feel like this is Lamar's most productive year as far as being efficient in the pocket, being efficient with the run. You got to understand, he lost his starting running back week 3, right? He was done. Right? They're on undrafted free agents who are just trying to make it. Will they make the team? I don't know. But I feel for right now, you need a bigger guy on the outside to a degree. You got all this speed, but you got two statues in the middle. Why don't you just go get a weapon that, like a D-Hop or somebody who can at least extend plays for consistency? What I'm looking for, Lamar, is nothing but consistency in the most crucial moments. I'm not looking for big play YouTube Lamar. I'm looking for him to bore me. I feel like the defense with Roquan Smith, he's back. I feel like they're getting another guy back next year, right? Jadeveon Clowney, I feel like he played himself into a Ravens role for the rest of his career. I felt like he was very effective. I don't think you changed too much about this team, but I do feel like you need somebody who without a shadow of a doubt is going to control that range as far as on the outside of the numbers. They're a play action kind of team. They run these over routes and jet sweeps. You got a lot of speed, but you need some size out there too. You need a little bit of size. And so
I agree.
I think that's
agree.
the biggest. I mean, you and I both know, Ken, as quarterbacks, right? And you as Tim, like, don't you just love a big 6'4" guy just sitting on the outside, but you got two burners you can, like, kind of toy the safeties with a little bit. You're just going to sneak right under him. He needs that large presence.
Yeah,
he needs that.
Him and Josh Allen both need that big receiver on the outside.
He needs that big presence. Like, they don't have to be a burner. You already have burners for that. But if you can get a guy who can go across the middle, go, run an out, run a comeback, run a curl on 3rd and 10, like the tough guy who can take the hits, like a DK Metcalf or something. If he's unhappy,
Tampa Bay. They should have called Tampa Bay.
Yeah, if you go get a Mike Evans in that offense,
come on.
And he's selfless. He's not gonna diva you. He's gonna run hard. You know what you're gonna get out of him, dude. That might be a perfect piece, Ken.
He's almost
1,000 yards walking into the building.
He almost beat us himself against Detroit.
Yeah.
Mike Evans was on fire.
Yeah, he still has it, a 30-year-old guy. I think Lamar's just got to take that next step as far as playoff Lamar. As good as you are, when it comes to the playoffs, you've got to bore me with completions, man. You have to. The number one goal is sustain drives. Keep your defense fresh. They only allow 3 in the second half. You've got to take advantage of the flats. That is my only thing. I'm just like, Lamar, you've got to learn to control that. Him and Josh Allen both. They got to learn to do that.
Yeah, I don't think they need to change a whole lot in Baltimore outside.
No, they're fine. They got a great organization.
I think the coaches
go get a big guy.
The coaches need to look internal and realize, hey, when we get to this moment, we can't change our identity. There's no reason to. When you're a dominant run team, run the football, right? There's no reason to panic. I think the 49ers proved that, if anything. And I think hopefully, I think John Harbaugh is a great coach. We know that. He's been to the big game. He's won the big game. So just got to somehow get that offense to realize who you are and do that. And then get a big target for Lamar to hit on the outside, because Zay Flowers is great, but he's not exactly taking up a lot of space. He's that small, speedy guy that you talked about, and he needs to mature a little bit. Obviously.
You need a big boy.
He showed some immaturity in the game with the big 15-yarder. We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
But
anything else, Tuck? You got anything? Anything you think the Ravens could do to get over the hump next year?
Okay, how old is Lamar Jackson?
Like 25, 26.
He got enough time to do what he got to do.
He's got enough time.
Yeah, he got enough time, but like I said, they don't need to do anything with the defense. The defense is set. I mean, the defense is going to be there. I mean, are they a real young defense or they're old defense?
They're young.
They're young.
Okay.
Humphreys is like a 2-year vet going into the 3rd year. Raquan's probably the oldest. Jadavion's actually the oldest.
Okay.
But he's a 1-year deal guy. They're going to sign him back, I hope.
So we lost Robert for a minute.
So just to me, they don't need to do that much. Just that, I'm sorry, Tim, and I know how you feel about this. No, if you had been a coach and the way they played the first half, I know how you are. You just say, like, darn it, what the heck is wrong with y'all?
Yeah.
I mean, you just say, like, what the heck is wrong with y'all? I mean, and I would have told the offensive coordinator, what the heck is wrong with y'all? We've been running this damn ball. We've been running this ball all year long. And then we're going to give this kind of performance to the fans. That would have been the biggest thing that would have ticked me off. During that time, you had a chance to win the game.
Yeah, he's never thrown the ball that many times, which was alarming to me.
Yeah, I mean,
his sweet spot is 22 passes a game. That's his sweet spot. That's when you feel he's the most effective Lamar.
I mean, I'm like, what you want him to do? You want him to try to outperform? To me, they wanted him to outperform Mahomes.
I feel that way too.
I'm like,
I do.
And that was silly.
Press that to say silly. He's the best. Like,
I
felt like it was pressing.
You do that by winning the game.
Yeah, just bore their ass with completions, Lamar. Take the fat chicken, the flats.
Right?
Brandon, and I know you, Robert, I know Brandon, and I know you, Tim. Halftime? Oh, no. Y'all would have came out halftime. Oh, no. Y'all done lost y'all doggone cock and picking mind? We've been doing this stuff all year long, running and throwing the ball. Then all of a sudden, you act like y'all don't even want to run the ball?
Out here looking like Kyle Shanahan.
No.
Yeah,
He know for that shit, boy.
bro,
He
if there's
know
one
for
thing
that.
that you should be nervous about, Brandon, from the 49ers standpoint, is that
Kyle.
in these 2 playoff games, you started off very slowly, and you cannot start off slow against the Chiefs. You
I
just
agree.
can't.
I don't feel like they score enough points, bro. That's
It's not
what
about scoring points. It's about the mentality and the aura that surrounds
I understand.
you.
No team
Once
should
they
ever.
get up on you, you're not coming back. You're not.
May
You're not
not.
gonna-
They're smart. I
Look at
respect
this.
it.
The 2 losing coaches got away from what got them there.
100%.
Damn.
There you go. There you go.
Don't get away from what got you there.
Don't get away from what
Lamar
got you there ever.
40 times.
Robert, I don't understand this, Robert.
He's getting
Bro,
a 40 piece
I don't
tonight.
understand this. You run the ball the first half, run the ball down San Francisco's throat, then all of a sudden you ain't even showing up in the second half. I'm like, dang, at least
I
run
guess
it.
we're going into this segment, huh? I guess we're going into this segment.
I mean,
No, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Hey,
I'm saying, y'all, it don't make no doggone sense.
it didn't make any sense. It was a lot of questionable things over the weekend from a coaching standpoint.
Very
So
questionable.
let's have a little fun with this. Let's try to center this around quarterbacks. We can make this pretty quick. There was 4 quarterbacks that played
Let's
this
make it
week.
quick.
I want you to rank them from worst to first. So Robert, let's start with you. Who played the worst quarterback this week to who played the best quarterback this week? 4-1 for you. Who was it?
4 was that? It's definitely Lamar.
Damn.
Yeah, I gotta give it to him. He played the worst.
Oh
He's
no.
loving every bit of this
I'm
right
not
now.
loving it. I
Come
feel
on,
vindicated. But
Tim. Hey, Tim, I'm just being honest.
He's
Yeah,
like,
He
you
did-
didn't
he
tell
did
yourself.
Uncharacteristic things. Very uncharacteristic things. Hey,
Yes.
throwing it to the end zone with 3 people around the guy.
3 people and threw it so
What?
casually. The way he threw it on TV, you must have. I mean, I thought he was throwing to somebody wide open when he
It
when
was
he first
him
let it
throwing
go.
the game. That's what it looked like to me.
That shit was
He-
rigged.
Oh,
Throwing the
Oh.
game. As
I
many
don't like to hear
people,
that.
I mean, it was. I mean, I've had a bunch of different conversations about it was Lamar against Mahomes. It wasn't the Chiefs against the Ravens. It was Lamar against Mahomes. There was a whole one side that wanted Lamar to win, a whole different side that wanted Mahomes to win. That's tired of the Taylor Swift frenzy.
Man, I love the Taylor Swift stuff.
They wanted
What
a
is wrong
Swifty
with people?
bowl. They wanted a Swifty bowl.
Why do people hate people that are happy? Like, what is the problem? Come on. Let their
I don't
love
think
shine.
it's that. I don't think
Let
it's
their
that.
love
I
shine
just think it takes away from football. Like Jack
It
Nicholson was
doesn't,
in the league.
though.
Listen though, but Jack Nicholson, one of the greatest movie stars of all time, was front and center with the Lakers
Yeah.
all the time, bro. Every
That
game.
take away from the Lakers?
Nah, they showed him a little bit, but it wasn't like that though. That shit's crazy.
The only reason you saw her so much is because Travis had such a big day. Don't
She's
let
like,
that kid have
"Hey,
11 catches.
it's
You won't
me.
see Taylor Swift 11 times.
When hey, you guys saw the you saw the little clip where
It'll make me
Taylor
a Swiftie here in a minute.
told the cameras to get away. Y'all saw the little clip where Taylor was
Yeah, I
was
don't
kinda
think Taylor really messed with
No,
her.
I
I think
didn't see that.
I think she shies away from that. She like, bro, I don't want none of that.
Well,
Leave
I
me
did
alone."
like the
You can
video.
tell
I
she's
saw
kind of
where
chill.
They were kind of walking together, her and Travis, and his brother appears, right? And then she's like, she kind of backs away and she kind of pushes him towards his brother. Then there's another clip where she's walking with his mom and she's like, "Hey, where's Jason?" And she's looking for the other people in their party. Taylor is. So you could tell she's bought into that. I love it.
She's
I think
chill,
it's
bro.
genuine.
Yeah,
She's chill.
and
You can tell
the
she's
media,
chill.
The
Yeah,
media
she's
is making it more than
Yes.
what she wants it to be.
I agree.
Probably.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is.
Because she's going to show up. I mean, she is going to fly from Tokyo. She's going to do a concert, right? Then fly from Tokyo to go to the Super Bowl, then get back on her jet back to Tokyo or wherever her next show is in Asia to do another. It's insane what she is doing.
That's love, baby. That's love.
That's love.
Somebody in love. You in love, bro. You in love, ain't you?
Somebody sprung.
Bird in love.
Oh my goodness! All right, so we got the 4. Who's 3, 2, 1 for you?
3. I'm gonna have to go with Jared.
Okay.
Jared Goff, because this is
He
not
wasn't
the first
bad, bro.
time. Huh?
He wasn't bad.
He wasn't. No, but I'm
He
ranking
wasn't
the
bad.
quarterbacks. I'm not saying he was bad,
He's
but
just
this
ranking
is
them.
not the first or the
I know,
second game.
but I just want to let you know he wasn't bad.
Oh yeah. No. Not taking anything away from him. He did enough for us to win the game.
Yeah.
But there are also some instances where I wanted him to make a bigger play for us. I mean, there were some times where he threw some balls that I was like, come on, Jared. Look, I need that. You know, or just get out the pocket and get a few yards and slide. Just some intangibles that I needed him to come up with to help win this game that just wasn't there. So he's number 3.
It's fair.
Number 2 is Mahomes. My whole family over here is a Mahomes. So I gotta. They're all Mahomes.
What?
Yep, and my number 1 because he changed the game, Tim, with that rushing. I gotta give it to him. He and they mama thought that Brock Purdy was going to rush the ball the way he did, pick up those first downs, run like he was a running back with blockers out in front of him, and making the. He ran through tackles on Sunday. Tim.
He did.
He wanted it,
and it was like, Detroit, what are we doing? Are we just giving it to him, or is he that much of a stud that he's running through tackles out there He wasn't sliding. Like, literally, he was not trying to slide.
He was not trying to slide.
Ain't no baseball in this. We trying to win that thing.
Tim, I got to say, if Brock 1, Mahomes 2, Jared 3, and Lamar 4. Those are my top. Because of that performance against Detroit that willed the 49ers to the win. Like, literally, he willed them.
Okay. All right. Brandon, we're going to come to you last. I'm going to go to Tuck over here and get his thoughts. 4-1. Who do you got?
Okay, 4-1. You know what? Hey Tim, I'm gonna add another number to that.
Another number. There was only 4 guys.
Only 4 quarterbacks.
That performance that Lamar what you guys did, I'm giving it an 8. Okay.
Oh my goodness, he's way down the list.
Oh no,
it wasn't that bad. It really was. It wasn't that bad.
Percent completion ain't good in the title.
No, it was that bad, y'all. It was that bad.
Man, I thought I was tough on Lamar. Woo.
I'm gonna tell you the reason why it's that bad.
He's a Steelers fan. Here he is.
That's true. That's true. Steelers.
You talk all year long about MVP. No. MVPs step they played up to the game. You cannot step up. I'm telling you. And the way had they behinds kicked, the whole offense had they behinds kicked. The running back, him need to have his butt kicked and everything too. What it boils down to is that yes, he's an 8. But when it gets down like man,
you know, slid him 8.
I'm not gonna forgive his performance. He just performed real bad.
8 through 4. Who's 3, 2, 1 for you?
Who's 3, 2, 1?
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I think Mahomes is number 3.
Oh,
it was kind of mid, bro.
Happening around here right now.
He threw that lucky ass pass.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I think Goff outperformed him.
Goff was balling.
I mean, as far as like, dude, Goff played a good game.
He played a great game. Yeah, he played a good game.
He did play a really good game.
He did his thing.
Goff would be my number 2. And
hold on, but Coach, Mr. Miguel, before you say that, there was one play that Goff had, that 4th down play, when he was rolling out to his right, and he threw the ball down the field, and nobody was around the ball. I think he was trying to get it to Amari. But when I say nobody was around the ball, nobody was around the ball.
Did he slip?
There was no slip. He was rolling to his right. I can remember this play verbatim. Rolling to his right, throwing the ball down the field. He had, I can't forget who it was, coming across the middle, that if he had to kind of look back to the middle, he would have found an open receiver. But he was trying to throw it to Amari St. Brown, and it just was a dud.
The duck. The duck
Yeah,
that came out.
I mean,
Yeah.
but there was no pressure
I
on him.
do remember that.
There was no pressure. Like, no pressure.
He
You
didn't
got to
just
learn to
flip.
use his legs too, bro.
Yeah. So
Well,
that's
Goff
You
why
got to
I
use your
gotta
legs in this game now.
Golf ain't got no legs.
find a
Well,
way
He
to
better figure that shit out and run in the sand.
Well, let me
Purdy
ask you.
did.
Let me ask you this, Robert. Was that
Purdy
the last?
did.
Was that the last play of the game when they had to have the fourth down to win the game to run and keep possession or what?
It was a
That was
key
also a
possession.
terrible throw.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
a
a key
terrible
possession.
throw.
I
Damn.
like this. Like you said, the coach deserved a lot of the blame too. But
Oh, yes.
I put him as my number. I put Golf as my number 2.
If they make those catches, where's Goff now?
We win.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he's won.
he's
But
won.
But to
It's
me,
pretty close.
They've never been in that position from the get go, fellas. Detroit
Nah,
should kept on running the ball.
they should have ran all through us, man.
Run the ball no matter what.
We can't
talked
stop
about
the run for
We
shit.
talked about it Saturday, knew we talked about
Yeah,
running the
bro.
ball, and I was like, outside the
Y'all
tackle,
gotta
but we
run that
couldn't do it.
pill,
Right.
bro.
Dude, I played this. Brandon, no. I went to bed at halftime, y'all. I went to bed at halftime. Dude, I said, ain't no
He
way in the world.
didn't believe in us, but God did.
Ain't no way in the world Detroit's gonna
This
blow
guy.
this game. Man, I woke up, I said, what?
Yeah.
I said,
Well, they
"Tied
blew it.
up."
They sure blew it.
And I
And
was
then all of a sudden, I said, like, okay, I said, I know Detroit gonna try to win this game. Woke up,
right.
they lost again. Said, I'll be darned. And then that's when I called him up, and I called him up after I woke up because I had to go to work that night. And I told him, he said, and I said, so I was gonna give you a call during the first half, but I said, no, I better not give me a call because
I was cussing everybody out.
Well, knew he was in his
Everybody-
feelings bad.
Just getting
He
cussed
ain't gonna
out.
ask me to call, but I get
My
Purdy,
man was in his feelings.
but I get Purdy my number 1 because
Purdy number 1.
the stuff that he did, I mean, man, even the coach, for the first time, Shanahan even said, hey, this dude right here brought it home for us.
For real.
And he said that after the when
He don't ever do that.
and he even said this dude did it for us today. So
Yeah.
when he said that let me know that hey, he's a franchise quarterback. I don't give a
I believe 100% Brock Purdy is the franchise quarterback for San Francisco.
the boys.
I'm glad that you guys all said that because that means we're not all going to say the same thing. So I love that. I'm going to have Lamar at the bottom, but I'm going to put that with an asterisk because I think a big part of that was coaching. I thought the game plan was absolutely terrible and did not set up Lamar for success.
Right.
I thought, he kind of walked into they tried to make him do things that I've been saying all year he's not very good at. And everyone wanted to argue with me, and now there's not much of an argument. So that's kind of good for me in one way. Number 3, I'm going to put Jared Goff only because they didn't win the game, and he blew a 17-point lead. I'm not saying he did it, but he was part of it. Everyone's part of that. So I got to keep him at 3. 2, I have Brock Purdy because the first half wasn't pretty for Brock. Now he turned it on in the third quarter and really, really played great in the fourth quarter, and that was great to see. But that's 2 weeks in a row where Brock didn't look extremely efficient in the first half. The 49ers as a whole didn't look very good defensively. They looked out of sorts. So my number 1 goes to Patrick only because, yes, it wasn't great numbers wise. He didn't wow you, but in the first part of that game, the first quarter of that game, he came out like an assassin. And he made some throws that were incredible. He made some runs. And then when they needed it most in the fourth quarter, he engineered that drive, particularly with that pass on third down where it was 3rd and short. And, that was like a Brady thing to me where all of a sudden he's just going to loop it down the middle. We're going to catch the ball and the game's over. And you're heartbroken on the other side. So I got to have Mahomes at 1. That's me. So Lamar, Goff, Purdy, who I absolutely loved his fourth quarter. And the way the defense was a big part of that. And I think the Lions were a big part of the 49ers comeback. So I can't give that all to Brock, unfortunately, but he did great. No shade there for him. And then Mahomes at 1. And I already know kind of where Noohi's going, but go ahead, Noohi. Spit it out, my friend.
Number 4, I got Lamar. Damn it, you got to take the fat chick in the flats. It's simple as that. If you're that type of quarterback, at the end of the day, when you throw that ball that many times and only complete 54% of your passes, you are pressing, my friend. I love everything about Lamar and what he stands for and what he does on the field. But when it matters, man, you're 2-5. And so that's a stigma there. Is he 2-5 or 2-4?
It's 2-4 now.
2-4. Okay, so you're getting in this weird conversation with people that you just don't belong with. So I think you need to refocus and get back. And hey, man, just take what the defense gives you. Don't press. You're an amazing player, right? Number 3, I got Jared Goff. I think he played extremely effective. I think he came out, commanded his team well. Unfortunately, he had some drops on 4th down, which really killed it. He did kind of have a couple of bonehead plays, took a couple sacks he didn't really need to take to in the red zone, which helped him get him out of field goal range. You can't do that as a quarterback. You and I both know when you step in the red zone, what is the number one thing you cannot do besides turn the ball over? Take a sack.
Turn the ball over. Yep.
You got to know your field goal guy's range, right?
A sack is pretty much
number 2. Number 2, I'm gonna go Mahomes. I think Mahomes is extremely effective. I think he did really well. He was 74% completion with 39 attempts. That is extremely impressive against historically one of the best defenses that we've seen in this era, right? And so they're only giving up 216 yards a game. Mahomes didn't wow you with just dynamic numbers, but he's finding a way to get it done. And I think it's a test to Andy Reid and what they're coaching and what they believe in. Mahomes doesn't have to enamor you with all these crazy stat lines. He's winning the game. And that's, to me, when you figure that out as a quarterback, that it's not just about your numbers, it's about getting your team in the end zone. That is a scary player to play against. And when you finally figure that out, it's like you have the glow. You can go out here and throw for 300 yards, or you can go out here and give me 30 or 39 200 and some change and a touchdown, no picks. Hey, we win the game and walk out of here in a hostile territory. I think Pat Mahomes has done a phenomenal job. He is the GOAT of our era for a reason. I mean, 4 out of 5 Super Bowls. It's absolutely incredible. And number 1 goes to Brock Purdy. Despite his stat line in the first half, it didn't look very good. But this kid only had the ball dropped twice in the second half, 10-12. Over 100-plus yards, had a 300 total plus yard game. Nobody knew he could really run like that. I had to go back and go to high school film and see like how he played in high school. My man was going for like 60-yard touchdown runs. Like he was out the gates. Like he could go. Like he has what I call football speed.
Football speed.
And I don't think a lot of his teammates knew that.
Yeah.
And now it's like, hold on now. Yeah. He's arrived, man. For what the kid did, brought us back by 17 down. God, that was impressive. I damn near had tears in my eyes, man, because it was so impressive to see. I've waited for almost. That's funny. I've waited almost since 1998 for a quarterback to be able to showcase what I saw as a kid in Steve Young back here, and that dude's for real. Like he's for real. Like
it was epic.
He's for real, bro. Like he is for real. I can talk about all the stats, all the yap. People, the number one job as a quarterback is to get your team in the end zone and never hit the panic button. This guy never makes it about himself. He gives praises to the Almighty because obviously we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, right? But he stays humble. He stays true to his values. And you can see that rub off on teammates. He going to let them teammates talk that noise. You see, even after a 4-pick game, Debo came in with a Juszczyk's wife's vest saying MVP. Yeah. Imagine how that brother's touched everybody, bro. It reminds me of how I only got to see this for a short amount of time, but damn it, I respect it. How you play, Kent. Like, the guys know and they gravitate towards you. It's a leadership, it's a command. And I feel like he has a very calm demeanor and a command in this team to even when Shanahan gives you praise as an introverted, awkward kind of guy, you've arrived, kid. And now, like Steve Young said, you have the Force. It's like the Luke Skywalker story. It's like the Star Wars story. And now you got to go take down the Death Star and Darth Vader.
Yeah, you do.
Because now Patrick is a villain.
Yes,
he's a
he is.
villain right now. He's vilified.
He's turned into Tom Brady.
He really
Exactly.
is.
Tom Brady. Everybody wants to see him lose, and that dude is so damn good. And I'm not
He
gonna
just keeps
take
winning.
I'm not gonna take nothing away from him. But it is so damn hard to beat a team 3 times in a row, brother. And kudos if you get it done.
We'll see what
I don't
happens.
know.
But
I don't know if you can.
you hit it on the head, man. He seems to have galvanized that team, as Robert always did with the teams that he was a part of. And we talk about all the goats, and Robert's in that conversation as well for what you've done in your professional career, boy. I mean, you step out there on the field, and the other teams say, "Oh, damn it, Robert showed up."
You just notice it's a difference, man. Like game mode, Robert Kent is like Tom Brady in the fourth, bro. It's different.
Listen, it's funny coaching Robert. I would talk to Robert up until the point we got to the stadium. Once we got to the stadium, I didn't talk to Robert for about an hour. Right? We didn't talk again until we were calling plays for the pregame. That was it.
We talked to a legend,
right? And you don't ask Robert, "Hey, man, how you doing? How you feel?" Because you know how he's doing. You know how he feels. He's got his jerseys jacked up, guns sticking out. Boy, Robert came to play. You don't got to ask him because you already know it's game time, baby.
I'm the first to say this, and this is really hard for me to admit this as a competitor. This is really hard for me to admit. He would never let me take his job.
No.
Never.
No. He only let you practice. Listen, but Robert only let Brandon practice when Robert was tired of throwing. He was like, "Okay, I've thrown like 60 touchdowns at practice. I'm done. Hey, kid, you throw the ball for a while. I'm going to go get some Gatorade and some ice."
And he helped me learn the game and understand the game. Like, he wasn't one of them old-ass Brett Favre vets like this kid here. Like, I was coming in to work.
Yeah.
But he knew, and I appreciate that.
Man, you did. When I say, because in my mind, I'm always, I can't let this kid outwork me. I can't let this kid outwork me.
Right.
That's the only thing I can think about. And I'm like, dude, he's throwing dimes out here. I got to see him practice throw a little bit more because this kid is throwing dimes out here. So
man.
I try to instill that same thing in the kids I teach. I'm like, guys,
I
don't care how old I am. I'm going to always tell you, I'm faster than you. I'm going to be stronger than you. I'm going to throw a better ball than you. Because
he made me work. He made me work, and I was just like, I had to admire this. I was like, this is what I need to learn. And if our team didn't fold, I knew for a fact we were in good hands for the future because he was prepping me for everything. He wasn't a guy that was just all about himself. He was a guy like, "Hey, did you understand this play? Did you see this concept? Let's come home. Let's get here early. Let's practice." I was like, "Damn, dude, like, I'm learning the game."
You guys really made each other better that year. And I say that because Robert was pushed. We didn't have anybody pushing Robert. And we started to have really competitive practices. And that just turned Robert's game up a notch. And we started rolling through people. And then the unfortunate happened.
I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. I mean, you love to be pushed. I mean, Vern, as much as we talk bad about Vern and we give Vern a hard time, he pushed you in practice because he would come in and compete. And he wanted your job. Oh boy,
you have a mentality.
Bulls, and you were like, "No, you can't have it. You can't have it yet."
I remember him telling me back in the days, like, "When I retire, you're the future." And I just sat back and said, "Okay, I believe it."
Yeah, man, we were
with these championships, and I'm going to prep you as hard as I can for you.
Brandon, we were going to run through the CIF for a long, long time. It's a shame what happened to us. It's a shame what happened.
Brandon, let me ask you a question. What school did Purdy go to?
Iowa State.
Okay, I tell you right now. I remember that kid when he played at Iowa State too.
Fiesta Bowl win. He won the Fiesta Bowl.
Man. He ripped Oklahoma up.
Yeah, he threw 80 some touchdowns in college. 88 touchdowns in college.
Watch Jalen Hurts versus Purdy.
But I didn't see
it was insane.
I didn't see this. He had intangibles in college, but I didn't see this coming.
I didn't know he had them legs like that, bro.
Speaking of
I
Brock
didn't know
Purdy,
he could run like that.
Speaking of Brock Purdy, this segues right into our hot topics. We're going to go through these hot topics pretty quick, folks. We've been here for an hour and 15 already. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, folks. We are 2 subscribers away from the 100 mark. The 100th subscriber. You take a screenshot with you hitting that subscribe button, and you're going to get a free jersey from the QB Huddle Podcast, just like this one.
Clean.
Fanatics. It's a Tom Brady jersey. I got another one hanging above me.
No, you
What?
got to give them something else. I don't
No,
want
they
that
get
Tom
whatever they
Brady
want.
shit.
They get
You
they
got to
get to
give them
pick.
something else.
No, they
What do you
get to
want?
pick what they want. They get to pick the player
They get
and
to
the
pick what
jersey
they
that they
want.
want. If that jersey's available, hopefully, but your favorite team, your favorite quarterback, we're going to hook you up. The 100
Hopefully, it's a Niner fan.
And hey, be sure to check in tomorrow night at 8:00 on the Couch Coach on YouTube at the Couch Coach Club. We are going to be out there causing havoc tomorrow night.
So I think we're going out on Thursday, Tim.
Oh,
FYI.
my apologies. We're going out on Thursday. I'm always the last.
Thursday night, 8 p.m. Stay tuned. We got a lot of ish to talk, but we appreciate every follower. I know this is long. We appreciate it, man. We've had a lot of great guests through this entire season, and get ready for this off season because now, Kent, we're going to be covering the UFL, right? We got the Frisco Fighters we're going to be checking out, and we're going to be checking out Yo Squad as well, too. So believe we're going to have some guests on here. We're going to get Coach Vic Mann out here hopefully this upcoming Couch Coach so he can talk his noise too, man. So it should be really fun.
We hope to have Coach here. He did let me know he's headed to the Super Bowl as soon as Kansas City won it. He made plans. He is headed to Vegas. But he is trying to move his schedule to be on our show on the Couch Coach this week. I got to meet Coach Shannon Harris. Thank you to Robert Kent for that introduction. He is the quarterback coach for the DC Commanders, and we're going to have more conversations about how we do this. But Brandon and I, regardless, we are planning the QB Huddle. We'll be covering the UFL and all things quarterbacks in the UFL. So as soon as the Super Bowl is over, tune in so we can start to educate you on who those quarterbacks are, where they've come from, what their stories are, and look for some content, particularly hopefully with the DC Commanders quarterback at the very least as we roll into the offseason. So it's going to be exciting stuff.
What you got, man? What you got, man?
Malo, baby.
Oh, geez. Now we're going way back. You should have had that thing on the whole time.
Yeah, you should have
beautiful jersey
all the time, man.
That's a beautiful jersey.
Man,
while you playing, look, he's like, let me go get my Palomalu jersey.
Let's get through these hot topics real quick.
Here we go. Quick hot topics. Let's
Cam Newton and Ryan Clark both called Purdy a game manager. Said he wasn't good enough to beat any of the other three remaining quarterbacks in the playoffs. Is there egg on their face? I mean, do they owe Purdy an apology?
What? Yes.
I'm asking. They do, don't they?
Yeah.
Cam Newton, Ryan Clark, get rid of your hate in your heart. Come out and apologize to Brock Purdy.
Now, I will say this. Clark did say something. Clark did say something.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, he ain't crow. But I still, as loud as your disrespect was, forget you, man.
It was pretty loud.
It just let me know. It just let me know you're not seeing what we're seeing, and you're smarter than that. You're smarter than that as a safety. He's a freaking safety. He's a good safety in the NFL, bro.
I'm tired of safeties trying to break down quarterbacks. You know what? Break down safeties and leave the quarterbacks.
I bet you Ed Reed can break everything that we do down.
Ed Reed's a Hall of Famer. Ed Reed can say whatever.
I'm just saying, I feel like with Clark, man, understanding the undrafted free agent, he should have understood his story a little bit more and had a little bit more, compassion for him. But he tried to just slam like he just wasn't shit.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Bad.
Whoa. Okay. Hold up.
Andy Reid has coached in 14 conference championship games. He's going to his 7th Super Bowl. As an Eagles head coach with Donovan McNabb, he went to 5 consecutive NFC championship games, including a Super Bowl. With the Chiefs now, he has been to 6 chip games. He's going to another Super Bowl here with the Chiefs. I feel that this is a yes, but do y'all feel like Andy Reid deserves to be put in that GOAT conversation right next to Bill Belichick?
Yes.
I feel so.
I feel like he's the best play caller.
I feel he's done it with multiple teams. That's why he's successful. He made Brett Favre when he wasn't crap in the beginning. They picked him up from the Falcons, made him a baller.
Yes.
Then he turned around and made Donovan McNabb, who was already a baller, even better baller.
Yes.
Then he resurged Michael Vick's career and made him an incredible pocket passer, which was phenomenal to see.
Yeah.
And he took
then you get this Alex Smith and made him cold.
Yeah.
So there's no question here. Everybody wants to talk about Bill Belichick as the best coach.
Andy's the best offensive coach of all time next to Bill Walsh.
Yeah, I've
He
got
just
him right there with Bill Walsh.
Andy's got to get his 4th ring to be able to say that, though.
Well, I'm always going to
That's
have
what I'm
Walsh.
saying with Bill Walsh. Yeah,
I'll
that's
always have Bill Walsh above Andy from that perspective, only because at that time Bill Walsh changed the game. He changed the way offenses played. He brought in the West Coast offense. He was revolutionary, and everything that we're seeing now is off of what Bill Walsh brought to the NFL. So it's hard to put Andy Reid above that because he hasn't necessarily been revolutionary, but I think he's the best play caller we've ever seen. Just because of all the success, like we said, that he has. And man, you could see that he really has taken the reins the last quarter of the season, I think, offensively. If Matt Nagy had any sort of...
He took that play sheet. I know you saw it.
Yeah.
He took that play sheet. He's like, no, let me call these plays, brother.
Okay, I like where we're going with this. I think we've talked about this, but we all agree Brock Purdy overcomes a 17-point deficit. He's going to a Super Bowl. He was in the NFC title game last year. He's got to be the franchise quarterback in San Francisco at this point. Yes?
1,000%.
Yeah.
Everyone's on that. That's pretty easy.
Just do me a favor, Brock. Take that $30 million deal, $30 million, and keep your team cold. Please don't try to take the max. Agent, I know you want your money, but damn it, you're still about to be rich because Brock Purdy he's going to be the face of that organization.
All
him and CMC.
Should do that.
You know what I'm saying? You got your money. He's a farm boy. Like, he likes to farm and shit. Like, take your 30 mil and keep it pushing. And you're gonna have an opportunity to compete.
I'm gonna put this to you for that. I mean, that's a great conversation, Robert. You're still playing. So in your situation, is it more important to you that you make as much money as possible, or is it more important to you that you make your millions, but you want to win? I mean, at what point does your legacy become more important than your bank account?
When I win a championship, that's when I worry about that bank account, because that championship increases that bank account.
Right.
Straight up.
If he goes out and wins that championship this year, honestly, I'm not going to ask for the max, but I'm going to ask for enough to make sure that I'm okay, because California taxes are pretty high. So make sure I'm good. But I don't max out the team because I want the team to stay together.
Oh, my God. Did you hear this from one of the greats? Do you hear this? Do you hear this, audience?
I mean, let's think about this young quarterback.
For so long.
When you win, you make more money outside of what the team pays you than you could imagine.
Investments and investments.
Watch how many commercials he's in.
Right. All of a sudden, you can endorse and your life changes. You don't need that. That's what drives me crazy about Dak.
There's going to be an Amazon movie about Brock Purdy.
Right. Dak wants
Disney movie's coming up.
Dak's going to take another bag here in a minute and really make it hard for us to bring in talent. And as the franchise quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, you make so much money outside of the field. You don't need the big salary. You don't need to take it off. And Tom Brady took pay cuts every year. Tony Romo took pay cuts. Peyton Manning took pay cuts.
Here's the thing.
They knew they wanted to win.
Well, you better put Mahomes in that conversation too, because
he takes pay cuts too.
He take pay cuts too.
Yep,
he got all his bonus from I think it's like for 4 years, like upfronted.
I bet he makes more money with State Farm than he makes from the Chiefs.
He made more money from the Royals, being invested in the Royals, than he does with the Chiefs.
Right.
There you go. And
here's the thing.
Him, he's chasing greatness. So
for real. Here's the thing about Tom Brady. You know damn well they created that whole TB12 market, him and Roger Kraft. I guarantee you.
Yes.
I guarantee you Roger got a whole part in that. Like, hey, we're going to give you this money here, but we're going to build you something better.
A brand.
It is.
A brand. Build a brand. I know Roger Kraft. Robert Kraft's
watch the interview with Tom Brady on the Pat McAfee show this week. He talks about how he got into business and how his mentality on the football field has helped him in the business world. So everybody should watch that. It's a great interview. He's talking about his broadcasting next year on Fox.
He's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be. I can't wait for him to call a Brock Purdy game or for him to call a Joe Burrow game, because those guys are so similar to him.
They're very similar.
I'm going to be very interested to hear his take on what's going on during those games. I'm real excited for Tom Brady to get in the box.
That's load of money too.
Oh yeah, he's the lead guy all of a sudden, first year.
So are they replacing Tony Romo with Tom Brady?
No. Tom Brady with the Fox. He's actually going to replace the tight end that's been doing it. What's his name?
Greg Olsen?
Greg Olsen,
Olsen?
yes. He's replacing Greg Olsen
What?
as the lead. Greg Olsen's still going to be an analyst, but Tom Brady is going to be the new lead analyst for Fox.
Why don't they just pair him and Tom up?
Well, you can't because that's two analysts. You need a play-by-play guy, which is a whole different skill set.
Oh, you would know.
I would know. It's a whole different thing. Like I do the analyst for Grapevine. I would never want to do the play-by-play. That is a whole different skill set that I do not have.
Difference.
Well, the difference in play-by-play, you're more or less describing the action, going with the ball, what's happening, right? That's what, and you're setting it up and you have that voice, right? You have Al Michaels is one of the best of all time at doing that. And then
Greg doesn't have that voice.
Then you have the analyst comes in. For the analyst, it doesn't matter what your voice sounds like. What matters is what comes out of your mouth. And what matters is that you bring a very complex game and you make it very simple for the average viewer that's watching on TV to understand what's happening.
Okay.
And so that's what I do for the Grapevine Mustangs. But I'm matched up with Jacob Dattamore from The Fan, I believe, is his radio station.
Yeah, he's been on our show. He's been on the couch.
He's
good.
He's got a great voice. He sets the scene very well, and he's very energetic. Right? He gets you excited on the when you're watching the game, like these play-by-play guys do. And then I come in and I analyze why a play worked, why it didn't work, and what's going on the field, and try to make it easy for the parents who don't maybe understand what's going on to understand what their kid is doing on the field. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
That's interesting. I never really know.
Dude, he's really good. He's getting really good at it.
Lots of practice.
Tim's a student of the game, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to prepare for everything.
I actually call games when I'm playing Madden, believe it or not. So, which is really weird to if you come in the room, I'm playing Madden talking to myself, but I'm just trying to practice.
Hey, that's reps.
That's what
Madden, I always say Madden skills trainer, Robert. If you've ever, I've told C4 this. If you've ever sat and watched Madden skills trainer and go through it in the coverages and the breakdown, it is so good for a quarterback to learn.
Yes, it is.
It is so good. And I was like, this is the only position that you can really play a video game and kind of get a sense of what people are doing, right? And so, dude, I can't tell you how many.
Is that why everybody thinks they can be a quarterback because they play Madden?
Yes.
Yes, that's 100%. True. But they can't read shit. They only read like three levels or two levels.
100%. Brandon, this is a question for you because you're a big Lamar fan. You're a big component of Lamar.
I am.
Was Lamar exposed? Did the Chiefs lay a blueprint, or was this more about Baltimore Ravens getting away from what they do best?
I think it was more about Baltimore Ravens getting of what they do best, but I also think the OC quarterback coach relationship. When you have a dynamic player like Lamar, sometimes you got to bring him back. Like, hey, let's bring you back. Okay, you're forcing a little bit of the issue. We got a guy wide open in the flats. Just take what they give you, chip away. And I don't think as much as these guys get paid to do, you've got to check ego sometimes. Lamar's a big YouTube highlight play guy, right? That's just kind of what he is. It's fun to see, but I need you to bore me in these kind of games. These are the games where you've got a lot to lose. And I feel like I don't think he was exposed because they're like, oh, you can just load the blocks and blitz Lamar and make him throw the ball. Where he's number one against the blitz outside of Brock Purdy. So, yeah, throw that out the window. You've got to hone a guy that has that type of right, and that's similar to a Brock Purdy. You got to bring them back. I'm like, hey,
how many screens
in the offense?
You know how many screens they threw that game?
How many?
That's what I'm asking. Have you got?
I don't know, but I know that he threw maybe 3 flat passes, and they took him for 8+ yards each time. And that's what me and my boy Matt, we're sitting in the garage and we're watching it on the screen, right? On the simulator. I'm just like, dude, these guys are wide open. And I'm thinking in my mind, Brock Purdy's going to take that.
Yes.
Brock Purdy's going to take that. You can't blitz a guy like that who has that quick processor. I feel like Lamar does have a quick processor, but he needs to sometimes reel it in. And as quarterbacks, we all know, we start staring down the gun barrel. We know we see a 3 roll and we got that bang 8 off the weak side, right? We're like, shit, this is going to take, but they don't roll. And it's like, okay, shit, they don't roll. I need to work my underneath immediately. I need to get off of it. And he didn't do that. He didn't do that. And
Or
No,
take
he
so
wasn't
off.
doing that.
that's
Or take off. Or take
Yeah.
off.
exactly
Please take
use your
off.
legs. Use your legs. And I felt like his ability right now could be a gift and a curse. And I say that because as much time as Lamar buys in the pocket, it deviates the guys from throwing in rhythm. You've got to be able to throw in rhythm.
Yep.
If you don't throw in rhythm and you're getting off time to wait in an 18-yard crosser across the field when you got a 4-man rush, but you got the gaps are squeezed, you've got to just take what they give you. Like, that's it. Hey, another play loss. Hey, I always tell my quarterbacks, what's the first thing you're thinking of on 1st and 10? Where they're like, well, maybe 4 yards. I need 4 to 7 right
Get
now.
ahead of the chains.
I need to think 4 to 7 because it's easier to call a play on 2nd and short than it is on 2nd and 10. That's
Correct.
hard for a coordinator.
True.
So you
That's
have
true.
to always have that in your mind. That way, okay, if I get 2nd and 3, okay, maybe I can take a shot. Oh, wait, it's 3rd and 3. Now I can work my game. It's simplified, and I think they got out of their way. So I don't think he's exposed. I just think he really needs to learn to understand why his coordinator is calling the play at the down and distance. He needs to understand that.
I'm gonna have to watch the all 22 because it looked like, obviously the camera is just
is
on where the
pressing
ball's
hard.
at. It looked like either he wasn't making pre-snap reads, either that or guys weren't getting open because he was holding the ball for an extremely long period of time.
Yeah, even
And,
Romo was saying, dude, take the flats
Yeah.
now.
Went off.
That's never a
Now.
success.
Or take off and use your God-given ability that nobody else has.
Please.
Right.
So, Harbaugh to the Chargers. As a Michigan fan, I'm
Oh,
torn on
boy.
this because as much as I love Jim Harbaugh, man, I'm a
Oh,
big fan of Justin Herbert. So I'm happy for Herbert. I hate that Harbaugh's gone from Michigan, although we've got Coach Moore, so we're in good hands. But guys, what do you think, man? Is this going to take Justin Herbert to that next level? Because we know that he's got all the talent in the world to be just as good as the top guys, right? Is this it? Are we going to look at the Chargers in a couple of years and see them at this level? Anybody speak up first?
Can I go
Yes.
first?
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
The only thing, he's a good quarterback. He's a God-given talent quarterback. But sometimes he gets in his way too. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes he make bad calls. It took Allen to realize for the first time that listen to your offensive coordinator. Take what the defense give you. Because Tim, you know how he is, and you know how he is too, Robert Allen. Sometimes he's a gambler. And this year is the first time I've ever seen him just play the game right.
Right. So you think
This
that's
year
what
is the
Herbert
first
needs
time,
to
and
do?
that's the same thing I feel about the Chargers quarterback. And I think with Harbaugh being there, that's going to help him out a whole lot.
100%.
Agreed.
What do you think,
That's
Ken?
going to help him out a whole lot, but he's going to have to give into it. He's going to have to give into it. Because if he don't, you know what Harbaugh going to do.
He gonna
make no
sit down
mistake.
and run that peel.
Harbaugh took this job because of Justin Herbert. Not only does he have ties to that area, but he wanted to be paired with Justin Herbert. Robert,
God, he's
what
really
do you think
good.
is about to happen? What do you see?
Honestly, I'm waiting to see how this run game turns out for him. What's going to happen?
He needs to
with
run.
Austin Eckler?
They're going to draft Blake. They're going to draft Blake.
You think so?
They're
That'd be
going to
awesome.
get it. They're going to get their guy.
Yeah.
Blake is the same as as Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
They're damn near the same player.
So
that's what I think is going to help the
Austin
system.
Eckler.
Yes, going to help
Blake
the system
Corman.
more.
Blake Corm in LA. That's interesting. I'd like to see that.
Okay, so who's his complement though? Who would be his, because that's what
It's got to be Austin. It's got to be him and Austin.
It has to be. They
It
got
has
to
to be.
Eckler there.
You need two fresh guys. Eckler's very effective, right?
Yes.
And I think adding Jim Harbaugh to the Chargers, as this is my former coach, I know exactly what he did for this culture.
Mm-hmm.
He turned that shit around in a year, bro, when we were in the championship. He took Alex Smith to the NFC title game. So imagine Justin Herbert. There is a new sheriff in town in the AFC West, Kansas City Chiefs. You are going to have to go through a freaking war to beat them.
Yes.
And the way your offense is set up right now, I don't know if that's possible.
Their defense is already they keep a good defense. It was could they go?
They got talent, but they give up too much. I think that's going to be shut down too because Harbaugh knows to get coaches. Yes. He know how to get coaches.
What if they go out and get, I don't know, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, one of these running backs? Jonathan Taylor's
already signed.
He's signed. Yeah,
but Derrick Henry he doesn't want to be an Indy. Maybe you make a trade. But what about a Derrick Henry who's not signed?
That'd be phenomenal.
I mean, you get a guy like that in the building with a Blake Quorum. There's your thunder and lightning right there.
But you're forgetting about Austin Eckler, how effective he is in the pass game.
I agree. Yes, he's a great third down back. He really is. I think he's a great third down back.
And Derrick Henry's just so good. He's just so good in everything.
I want Derrick Henry to go to Dallas, but I just don't see the Cowboys doing
like that. They're going to drop the ball on that. You know they're going to drop the ball on that.
Yeah, they always drop the ball.
I think adding Harbaugh really can make the Chiefs nervous. Yeah. Because let's say for instance, if they win this, they win it. Okay, they're a dynasty. Does that dynasty crumble in the division with the Broncos are getting stronger, the Raiders are getting stronger, and now the Chargers are going to get stronger?
It's certainly going to be a different division what the Patriots got to play.
Those are all good coaches, bro. All good coaches.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: what about that offensive line? Is that offensive line pretty good?
It could get better. It could get better.
They could get better. I think right now Harbaugh is going to build a physical team, a physical discipline team. I think that's what you're going to see.
He said he's going to turn the Chargers into Michigan West.
Well, Justin Herbert, you don't have J.J. McCarthy. You have a freak in Justin Herbert. And you got to let that thing fly. Justin Herbert is one of the most talented quarterbacks. Has he got another hump? He has not. Is he elite? No. He is not. But he has elite traits.
But they pay him.
He does.
True.
He has elite traits.
He does. All right. This will be an easy one. Kellen Moore to the Eagles. As a Cowboys fan, I love the move. But for the Eagles, I don't think it's I just don't see how Kellen Moore works with Jalen Hurts. I think it's a terrible marriage. He couldn't even figure out what to do with Dak Prescott and didn't want to run the ball enough. You have to run the ball with Philly. Man, what do y'all think about this move? I don't know how Kellen Moore got a job, and I certainly don't understand how he got hired in Philly.
Okay, well, the reason why he got it. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say he just left from where? Where was Kellen at?
Chargers.
He was with the Chargers.
Yeah, with Chargers.
Well, he's had the number one offense with the Dallas Cowboys. I think him grooming a Jalen Hurts, who is a more clutch player than Dakota Prescott. I think they're going to be okay because I think this now we forget where Kellen Moore's from. Kellen Moore's from the Boise State offense.
Right.
And a lot of that trickeration, run, RPO style, it's going to still be integrated. It's going to be integrated even more.
Yes.
That's a good point.
You're going to see. I think this could be a match made in heaven for him because as an OC, being a quarterback, having a quarterback mind, and I know Brian Johnson did a good job, but I think Brian was a little over the realm there, right? Mm-hmm. You got to hone Jalen into his skill set, and I think Kellen Moore taking that job knows Jalen's skill set. He's seen him for a little bit, right? He's seen his strengths. He's seen his weaknesses. He's coached against them. He's prepped against them, right? I know he's an OC, but at the same time, I feel like he's going to take Jalen's skill set. And if we go back and watch Kellen Moore's film back in college, bro, that was one of the most accurate quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life, who throws with incredible anticipation, who is a coach's son, who understands how to see the game. Him and Jalen Hurts are both coaches' sons. That's a plus.
Okay.
That's a huge plus. I love it. I love it.
Okay. Robert, you like it?
I think it's because they're going to whoop your ass, Tim. That's why I love it.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
I think it's going to develop. I think it's going to develop Hurst a little even more, honestly.
Okay.
I agree.
He's going to put Hurst in where he's comfortable. Hurst likes those.
Yes. He's going to put him in a comfort zone.
Options, and it's going to give him a few more options with the run pass trickery game.
Yep.
And so I just think Jalen Hurts buys in, and once Jalen buys in, he has the weapons around him, man. Golly.
He does, but I've seen Kellen Moore in Dallas, particularly in big games or when he gets down by a little bit, press and start to ask Dak to throw the ball 40 times. He did the same thing. You know, he gets away from the run very quickly. He got away from it in LA. I thought I didn't like a lot of his play sequence in LA. Some of it's kind of all over the place. I don't feel like he has a good flow to his play calls a lot of the time. And so for that reason, I mean, you can't ask Jalen Hurts to throw the ball 40 times. You just can't. And so
he's not going to.
But what you're saying is right. If he's going to adjust and bring that college type offense to Jalen with the RPOs and Jalen running and all that sort of thing, then yeah, you might be right. And I hadn't thought of it in those terms. I just kind of looked at the mistakes he's made in Dallas, he's made, but a lot of that was on Staley too, I think, in LA. So maybe we're being a little unfair to Kellen. What do you think, Tuck?
I'm like you, Tim. I mean, Tim, at first I thought about it. I said, well, I don't know because of the fact that he was in Dallas and he did okay. But like you said, he can't have Hurts throwing the ball 40 times a game.
Yeah,
he can't. And if he does that, that's gonna be a disaster for Hurts. Period.
True.
They got the talent in Philly. But I think it all depends upon the coach. Is the coach gonna let people do what they need to do? Because I know everybody wanted him gone this year.
I think he's pressing now.
But
man, he really is.
But
I think he's pressing.
He just came from a Super Bowl.
I know. That's just how Philly is. They're quick to get rid of people.
They are quick to get rid of people. So that's like 2-2. We like 2 or 4, Kellen. 2 are not so sure about it. Well, let's get to the moment of truth. Now, Brandon and I this week will not give you our predictions, right? We know it's a big game. I can tell you now, noohi's going to tell us all the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl, and that's fair. He is a 49er fan. But we're not going to bring that. We're not going to really break that game down until next week because the Pro Bowl's this week. But I am going to let our guests give their breakdown of the game and who they think will win. Robert, we'll start with you. Chiefs taking on the 49ers in Las Vegas. Keep in mind, the 49ers will be in the white jerseys, which, to my understanding, wins more than not in the Super Bowl. If you win the white jersey, you win the game more often than not. So maybe that plays into it. I don't know. But give us your breakdown. Give us your prediction.
I have one factor. And
one factor.
One and only factor. If the 49ers do not come out and play football in the first half, the Chiefs won't let up off the gas pedal. They won't make mistakes. They won't go into third. Well, I'm going to say Mahomes. He's been there before. He knows what it takes. He's going to finish the game. If the 49ers play ball the entire game, I think it goes back and forth, and it comes down to who gets the ball last. But the 49ers does not play football in the first half the way they've done the previous couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a Super Bowl worth you. I won't call you, B.
It's going to be a Seattle versus Broncos. They're going to roll our ass.
So who's winning? You got the Chiefs?
That factor. I mean,
just that factor.
That's just that factor. If the 49ers don't show up in the first half, the Chiefs win. If the 49ers if they show up in the first half, I think the 49ers find a way to pull it out.
Ooh, buddy, boy, that would be a lot. If we watch Mystery Relevant take down Baby Goat, that would be something to see, wouldn't it? That would be something to see. I'm here for it. I'm surprised they don't have this game on pay-per-view.
Coming soon.
This is going to be this. Hey, for a quarterback room, this is an incredible Super Bowl. Like this is what we want. We couldn't ask for much better than this.
And Tom Brady is just sitting back doing this.
Yeah, he is.
Looks so similar to the Rams versus the Patriots when they won it. Remember that explosive offense? Remember the MVP Kurt Warner back-to-back?
Yep.
Remember the Super Bowl champs? And then they just roll in with a quarterback who wasn't supposed to be shit. Made it happen.
Well, wow.
Looks eerily similar.
Oh boy, Tuck. Last game of the year, man. You're a Steelers fan. You got more Super Bowls than anybody, at least as of right now. But that could change in 2 weeks. Who do you got?
Man. I'm not gonna put anything past Mahomes. I just got to the point that Mahomes he's just that good.
Jordan-esque,
I mean,
you would say?
Yes.
he's a game manager, but he can also hurt you with the deep ball. It all depends on what the defense is giving him.
Yep.
The defense gonna give him time to throw, do the short stuff. He will do the short stuff. And the big factor is this, and I don't even care if nobody say, you got to knock the tight end for Kansas City on his behind.
Yep.
You cannot let him.
You got to take away him immediately.
You cannot let him do what he did this past week.
Nope.
11 catches in the first half.
Damn, I should have bet on Prize Picks.
It's not even that. You know what's crazy about that?
I want some money.
All the talk this week was the matchup between him and Hamilton, and how Ryan Hamilton, number one, Ryan Hamilton had not given up a touchdown. Kyle Hamilton had not given up a touchdown until Kelsey scored in the first quarter. That was the first touchdown he had given up all year. He was the number one guy versus the pass against tight ends all season long. And Kelsey had no problem with that. Like, the talk was that Kelsey was going to get shut down. And Kelsey had his best game of the year.
Man, Kelsey is just, he's the tight end, but he's in receiver's body. I mean, he can cut. He can go long. I mean, he can go deep. He can do the post.
He can do it all.
For this guy. I mean,
so was it Shannon Sharp? No, I mean, Shannon was it Sterling?
He's very Shannon Sharp like.
I don't know.
But Shannon can block.
Shannon was different.
Could block. Kelsey can't block to save his life. He can't play dead in a horror movie trying to block.
Right.
Yeah, Shannon's difficult to play though. But I mean, they need to just do just like what Tampa Bay did. They knocked him in his mouth.
I say Kelsey more like Dallas Clark.
Nothing.
Dallas Clark, that's a good comparison.
He's like Dallas Clark, a larger Dallas Clark.
Right.
Yeah.
So
let's get out in that slide on the 3x2.
So who's going to win? Who's going to win?
To me, I think San Francisco will win. But like I said, it all depends on how they take the tight end from Kansas City away. If they don't take him away, I'm sorry. I'm letting somebody else beat me. I'm not letting Curtis.
We're going to get routed, boy, if we don't take him away.
I love this because we've got two keys to the game here from two different sides to see who's going to win this game. Hey, those are great keys. Somebody's going to be look really smart come Super Bowl Sunday. We're going to go back and look at this film and see who it was because we got some good keys to the game here.
Oh, now
Tim had to pick KC, but it's all right. We'll save it for next week.
If San Francisco come out being slow,
it's over.
It's
over.
Yeah, that will be a problem, and that's something to be careful if you're the 49ers because
they've done it 2 weeks in a row.
Chiefs aren't letting you back in it. Well, like I said, Brandon and I, we're not going to give you our picks just yet. We're going to hold off.
I'll call it this, y'all.
I know somebody's pick.
If Kansas go up 24-3 at halftime, it's done.
Yeah, it's over with.
It's done.
Yeah, if it's 24-7, Brandon, y'all not coming back.
I just want us to do the same way they did us. I want us to feel that pain. They get up real quick and then we come back. I want them to feel what we felt in 2019. We ain't forgot, mother sucker. We ain't forgot. We ain't forgot.
You ain't forgot.
Chris Wayne was here, boy. I was bad, boy. I was almost here. I'm like, man, I'm so sick of this.
I'd like to thank Tuck. Thanks for coming out and joining us.
You
watch the show every week, so we wanted to show some love to our fans, and we'll have more fans out, particularly in the off season. Robert, thank you so much, man, for taking time out away from your family and coming out here with us.
Yes,
thanks
absolutely.
for the invite this weekend. Let us watch some really great players out there getting work in and meet some folks. Appreciate the introductions that you made. Guys, as soon as the Super Bowl is over, be on the lookout for UFL content coming your way. We are so excited to cover the UFL this year.
This should be
That's
fun.
going to do it. Be sure to subscribe. We're 2 subscribers away from that magic 100. So get there. Get that jersey. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next week, Tuesday, 8 o'clock. For my podcast partner, Brandon Noohi, I'm Tim Smith. Robert, Tuck,
Hold
we
down,
appreciate
hold down.
everybody, and we will see everybody next Tuesday night at 8 o'clock and Thursday night on the Couch Coach. See you then.
Good night, y'all.
Peace.